Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Saleh Rajab. I am your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, meeting number 730. In each meeting, when we start with the Toastmasters promise. Today, I want someone to mention for me that promise. Who's ready to take this chocolate? Anybody knows what is the Toastmasters promise?
Switch off your mobile.
No, the promise.
To provide us positive and supportive learning environment.
Yes, as a Toastmasters, we promise to provide a supportive and positive learning.
Acceptable topics.
I also love this.
And we have 4 core values in Toastmasters. Who would like to mention that 4 core values?
Respect. One chocolate for day.
One chocolate for all four.
Already negotiated.
Integrity, service.
Respect, service, excellence.
And we are not allowed to speak about 3 taboo topics.
Chocolate.
Religion, sex, and politics. Thank you.
Now for the next one, I will give him 2 chocolates, not 1. Who is ready to give a beautiful introduction about our president?
I will also give you.
Who is ready for that? Misha, come here.
Okay.
Introduce our president.
So, Toastmasters, let me please introduce our super energetic, smiling, charismatic, true leader, Divya Alcasos.
So let's welcome our president, Divya Alcasos.
Thank you so much, Saleh, and thank you so much, Misha. And I like the way Saleh did his job today. Smoothly delegated all his work to everyone. With the power vested in me, I now declare this meeting open. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
So how are we all today? Hope we had a good Eid break.
Yes.
Okay, and all rejuvenated and back over here. Now let me start with a short story. This is a story that happened during ages ago, during the Greek mythology time. So there was once an emperor who put a picture of the bullseye, the target, and there were a lot of people around him, these people, and he said, describe the target. Okay, for example, this Dubai Toastmasters is your target, your bullseye target, describe that. So one by one, all the archers came and they started saying, oh, I can see the target, I can see the wood behind, I can see the trees, and then people went as far and far as possible where their sight could take them. Then one guy came and he said, I can see only the target. And he's the one who got the prize. Why?
Focus.
Exactly. And that's where we need to be. Our goals should be focused. Sometimes we have our goals in front of us, but we see beyond and ahead of it. So that's a message for today, to stay focused, stay true to your goals until you achieve your goals. Now, moving on to our presentation. We just finished Ramadan, the time of giving. Saleh gave a lot and I'm still in the mood of giving. So I'm going to be giving. Quickly, the first person who tells me what's the meeting number?
7:30.
7:20. Next one. Who is our... okay, where are the headquarters of Toastmasters? In how many countries is Toastmasters present?
130.
100 and?
30.
103.
No.
100.
That means nobody looks at my slides when I talk the other days.
320.
No, 105. 320.
108. That's a district number.
No.
140.
Close, very close.
142.
Very close.
146.
143. 144.
Did you Google?
No.
Okay. 144. And how many members are we worldwide?
300,000.
How many members are we?
10,000.
326,000.
Very close, but no. How many members are we worldwide?
Close to 400,000.
No, you've gone ahead.
343,000.
343,000.
No, we will become 400,000. Forgive me.
Not very soon. I want somebody to get a little closer.
344,000.
250,
She's closer.
253, 255,
No, the others have got to 300.
240,000.
275,
Closer. Hot, hot.
283,
Hotter.
285.
I'll give it to her, 282,000. Next, how many clubs do we have worldwide?
150.
150.
Worldwide.
Ah,
Worldwide, how many
more than
clubs?
3,000.
Definitely more than 3,000. How many clubs?
3,754.
Tell me at least a rough figure. I don't want the exact. Some thousand. Tell me what thousand.
5,000,
8,000.
10,000,
No, more.
15,000.
12,000.
She's closer, but somebody else I would like.
12,800.
No, give me a round figure. You will not get it.
18,000.
Less.
15.
12,
15. 15,000.
14,000? So now I'm sure you will never forget these numbers. Who is our CEO?
Daniel something.
Daniel Rex. Who is our international president?
Nisha, why did you buy excess chocolate?
No, I said Daniel Rex. We'll share.
Who is our international president?
Is it exam?
I can tell you the future one.
International.
Will become.
Matt Kinsey, my friend. Now read this, look at these numbers and memorize them forever. I'm sure you all will memorize them now after. So yes, for the benefit of the guest, Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization that started.
1984.
Even after looking.
84.
Even
84.
24. 24. Yay! 24, October 22nd, that's 98 years old. We are an organization that's 98 years old. Headquarters in Colorado, 282,000 members across 144 countries, 14,000 clubs across the world. In UAE, we are more than 150 clubs with 3,000 members. And this is Daniel Rex, our CEO, and our international president, Matt Kinsey, distinguished Toastmaster. So, what are the benefits of joining Toastmasters? Rashid, why did you join Toastmasters?
To improve my public speaking and presentation skills.
To improve your public speaking skills, Adil?
7 minutes, nobody disturbs me when I'm talking.
7 minutes, nobody disturbs you when you're talking. Mission,
Get some chocolate.
get some chocolates, okay. Vikas,
Leadership skill.
leadership skills, very good. Amitwa,
Remove the fear of public speaking.
remove the fear of public speaking, very good. Srijit,
Well done, organized structured speech.
structured speech. Joydeep, you come back, so. What was the benefit?
people.
Networking, meet different people. See Toastmasters Ramesh?
Take girlfriends.
Get girlfriend. Leadership. Sajid, your ears after all.
Confidence and public.
So this is exactly the reason and the benefits of joining Toastmasters Club. All that the members have said are your testimonies to why and what you will get from Toastmasters Club. And how would you get this? You would get this from a program known as Pathways. What is Pathways for the existing members? What is Pathways?
It's a learning platform where you
It's a
can go and
program.
monitor your status, you can track your improvement and
So
progress.
that's the program where you have your levels in your speeches and which allows you to get your core competencies, which is your public speaking, interpersonal communication, leadership, management and confidence. We have 11 pathways ranging from dynamic leadership to motivational strategies to engaging humor and to visionary communications. How does it work? For example, you take leadership development, take that pathway. If you take that pathway, you have competencies of 1, 2, 4 and 5. What is 1, 2, 4 and 5? If you take leadership development, you will achieve your public speaking, interpersonal communication, management, and confidence. So new members, when selecting your pathways, understand what are your goals, why have you come over here to Toastmasters, what you want to achieve, and based on that, then tie up with your pathways. So this is how Toastmasters works. This is Dubai Toastmasters Club, I'm the president, and few clubs together from an area, we come under area 20 division, district, not you. Few areas together from a division. Which division we come under, Srijit? Division B. Few divisions together from a district. Amitava, which district?
105.
105. Okay, 105, and then we come under Region 11. So our area director is Toastmaster Feroz, our Division B director is Distinguished Toastmaster Pragna, our district director of 105 is Distinguished Toastmaster Rania, then we have our Region 11 director, Distinguished Toastmaster Shabaz, and our international president, Distinguished Toastmaster Matt Kingsley. So about the Dubai Toastmasters Club, last meeting we celebrated 27 years in Dubai. This club was started in April 1996. We have a mix of veterans and young members, formal meetings, fun meetings. Membership fees are $450 for 6 months and $750 for 1 year, with a one-time registration charge of $75, and guest fees per meeting is $25. This is our founder, Dr. Rolf C. Smedley, and we believe in his words, which is we learn best in moments of enjoyment, and you will see that in this meeting and all the other meetings that we had in the past. Now let me invite few guests over here to introduce themselves. They will tell us your name, what do you do, how did you come to know about this meeting, and what are your expectations from this meeting. Would you like to come, sir? Yes.
Now?
Yes.
It's fine.
You want the mic?
Sure.
You should at least prepare me.
No, it's okay. This is guests.
It's very like.
Feel comfortable. Nobody's judging.
No, I'm not feeling comfortable, to be honest.
What's your name? Let's make it
I'm
easy.
Hadi.
Hadi. Welcome, Hadi. What do you do?
Accountant.
Accountant, very good. How long have you been in Dubai?
3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
Okay, welcome to Dubai and to Toastmasters. So why did you come here? How did you come to know about Dubai Toastmasters?
You will not believe. By AI.
By what?
AI.
AI.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us
I
about
was
it.
searching ways to improve my communication skills, to be honest. And he suggested Toastmasters.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went searching and I knew about this event here.
Okay, nice. And what are your expectations from this meeting?
A lot. I'm expecting a lot. To increase my public speaking, to increase my confidence, to work on my interpersonal skills, all this stuff.
Okay. Welcome, Hadi, and you are comfortable now, don't worry. I hope you achieve what you came for here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ben Watts. I'm the CEO of an electrical engineering company in Dubai. I've been here for about 10 years, just over 10 years now. And I heard about Toastmasters a long time ago. I went to a wedding probably about 3 years ago, and the bride's father made an epic toast, speech, storytelling to the bride, and it was hilarious, and everyone just was roaring. And afterwards, I was talking to him, and he really recommended Toastmasters, and I thought, that was kind of a legacy goal for me to be able to make a toast at my daughter's wedding. So I thought I would look at it. I looked at it a while ago, I guess during COVID, and they were doing online sessions. That wasn't really for me, and then I just thought of it recently, and I found this meeting.
Okay,
Welcome.
welcome. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Alexandra. I'm here in Dubai for 1 year, working I'm a financial advisor. why I'm here, and it's the same about who recommended me. When I was presenting myself to the team when I joined its office, I failed a lot. I can't express what, like, I can't even describe what I'm doing here. So, and my partner recommended me to visit this Toastmasters, yes, and that's why I'm here. I want to improve my self-presentation skills, to be more confident, to increase the same public speaking skills. So I have great expectations from this.
Welcome, Alexandra.
Hi everyone, I'm Sabin and I'm an HR professional, and I came to know about Toastmasters through internet. It's been this last week I came to know about Toastmasters, and my expectation from this meeting to improve my public speaking skills.
Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Tiziana. I'm the CEO of a procurement company. I'm in UAE, it's already 9 years. And normally in my career, I used to have face-to-face meeting or with just few other people, but never with a very public audience. So this is the reason why I decided. And a friend of mine, I already heard about Toastmaster, but I never thought to come. Just yesterday, a friend of mine, she proposed me to come and to join, and I said, why not?
So, why not? Of
yeah.
course, yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's have a friend also.
My name is Sidova. I'm 20 years in Dubai, and I work in a bank. And the reason why I am here, sometimes I'm really confident in speaking, sometimes not. I didn't know why, and tried to find the reasons. And first I thought I need a psychologist, but then I found out from my brother that there is something called Toastmasters, and I should just try it, and that's why I'm here.
Welcome, Selena. Welcome to you. Moving forward, let me acknowledge our dignitaries in the house today. We have our past president, distinguished Toastmaster Ramesh Anantaraman. We have our past president, Toastmaster Adil Kadri. And we have our Division B director, Toastmaster Mithil. Now, every meeting has a TMOD, the Toastmaster of the day. So who is the Toastmaster of the day? The Toastmaster of the day is your host, your genial host, who will take you through the entire proceeding of the meeting. And today, for today's meeting, we have someone who's been with us for 3 months. He is a bundle of energy. He came in, and the first time that he came, he straight away took part in a contest. He is an operations manager for a healthcare industry. He loves reading Formula One. He loves watching movies. He is someone who has never ever been a TMOD. Put your hands together for our rock star Toastmaster.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
You know what I really like about this crowd is throughout my day, I say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and literally no one ever responds. This is that one crowd that finally responds to me. So once more, good evening, Toastmasters!
Good evening!
Awesome. So today's topic is never have I ever. As our wonderful president said, this is my first time as a TMOD. And one day she calls me up and says, George, what's the topic for today's meeting? And I'm like, I don't know. Every single meeting, we get to know so much. There is someone teaching us about meditation. There is someone teaching us about the importance of public speaking. There is someone teaching about family life, about how he organized the family dates. I'm like, what is left? What's left is to play a game. Is to play a game for the entirety of this 2 hours. And that is never have I ever. Ever? While this slide comes up, never have I ever is actually not a really straightforward game. There is a lot of vulnerability, a lot of originality that has to be there within the person to come in front of everybody and talk about something that they've never ever done. So it's not that straightforward. It's not coming up to a stage and maybe saying a speech. It's about maybe sharing a deepest and darkest secret. I heard some of the guests say some very interesting stories, and honestly, I felt even that took a lot of courage, to come up in your first meeting and to speak. That's amazing. I'll tell you this one time I played Never Have I Ever. It was back in 12th grade, and this guy comes up and he says, "Never have I ever booked a hotel room." And I'm like, I have booked a hotel room? Everybody starts laughing at me. Why would a 12th grader book a hotel room? And I never got a chance to speak. And I never got a chance to say, "Hey, I booked the hotel room because I was the event management committee president. I had to..." No. From then onwards, you won't believe what all they used to call me. But today, I'm all going to give you a chance. Whenever I say never have ever, and if you say, "I have done it," all of you get the chance to come and speak and talk about why this happened, when, what, the circumstances behind it. Not too crazy, not to intimidate all of you, but honestly, that's the entire meeting. So I just want all of you to be bred to come here with me, maybe with the mic, especially for you, sir, and speak to the entire crowd. All right? All right, everybody?
Yes.
To get you all warmed up, let's play a quick game. Every one of you have a blue and a pink sheet in front of you. So blue means never, and pink means I have. Please have a seat. Thank you. So blue means never, and pink means I have. So you're right in time for the game. I'll just actually wait for you. Awesome. So let me repeat. All of us have 2 papers on our chairs, the blue and the pink. Everyone's got one because everybody has to play. Yeah? Awesome. Everyone's got one. Does any one of you not have it? All good. So I'm going to say something like, "Never have I ever eaten a complete pizza in one sitting." So if you have, you put the pink one up. If you have not, you put the blue one up. Simple. Cool? Okay, let's start the game. Don't you just like that? All right. Everyone ready? Yes. Never have I ever won a lottery. So I can see some whites. So white is basically the other side. So could you put the... Yeah.
As in lottery or a lucky draw?
Yeah, it can be a lucky draw, anything. Never have I won a lottery. So now the cool part about this game is you can look around and you can see your friends, You can see if they have won a lottery or not. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Never have I ever blanked out on stage. Never have I ever blanked out on stage. Means you come on stage and just completely forget everything. If you have, you would pink. If you have not, you would red. Okay, I can see a lot of pinks, a lot of reds, and blues, okay? Never have I ever saved a life. Never have I ever saved a life. Saved a life. It can be a dog on the road, a cat, or a human. Never have I ever saved a life. So pink means you have. I can see a lot of saviors. Okay.
We have never saved the life. The life has been saved by someone else.
Of course, for sure. But then you had a major role to play.
Yes.
Done. Never have I ever delivered a speech in front of more than 100 people. Awesome. I can see a lot of pink. That's great. Never have I ever fallen in love. So are you playing? Not the white, pink. Okay. I can see some blues.
Do you have
Blues. Just two more things. Never have I ever lied to someone in this room. So if you have lied to someone in this room, lied. Told a lie. Never have I ever. But I can see some things. By the way, just to let the people in the front know, it's best to turn back and see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, really? Really was sergeant at arms?
Next slide. So these were the 6 never have I ever that was just done, yeah? Now the game actually begins. Okay? All of you get the next 3 to 5 minutes to find someone other than you who said I have to any of these 6. So for example, I would go to Devi and I'd say, so if I kept my eyes open, I'd know what she did. It's fine. You can talk to each other. And find out who has done what. And the first person to come with 6 names here wins. Yeah, you can stand up and talk to each other. Stand up and just talk to each other. 6 names, just 6 names. You have a pen and paper.
Whom have you lied to in this room? I need to write the name.
You don't call 6 names? 6 names. And 6 different names. 6 different names. Talk to more people. 6 different names.
What is Rishabh? What did you say yes?
Lottery.
You won a lottery?
Yes. 6 names?
I think I got 6.
You got 6? Are you sure? Alright guys, you're a winner! It's our president! Dini, are you sure? Are you sure?
One second.
The first person on stage gets...
She's remembering me as a liar.
And honesty was okay, I got 6 names.
Now, we got one. So, Vidha, can you call out everyone, thank you. Call out all the 6.
Just name them?
Yeah.
Okay, so may I have Mr. Adarsh, Miss Silva, Miss Tiziana, Mr. Ben, Miss Jenna, and Mr. Sujit.
Awesome. So everybody in this list, please come on stage. Let's go. So firstly, the winner, of course, deserves a prize. Congratulations. Everyone, please give a massive round of applause. She's got 6 people on stage. Okay, so who's the one who won a lottery? Awesome. So could you just talk about your experience about winning the lottery and so on?
A friend of mine recently won about 13 million on the Mahoo's, and so I thought I should probably do that because it's only like 15 dirhams or something like that. And the third time I tried, I won €7.
We have a seven.
Technically, I won lottery.
We have a $7 millionaire, everyone. Thank you, man. You can. Thank you. Who's the one who's blind on stage? Who's the one blinding on stage?
It would be me.
Okay. You had a blind out for a second. Okay. Just talk about that one.
So I'm well known as a procrastinator. So my first 3 speeches was literally, I prepared them a few hours before I went on the stage. And during the second speech, I completely lost it. So this experience taught me that being prepared for the speech, I will have less chances to completely put it out. So let's see today.
Salad, please. One more, please. One more. Never have I ever delivered a speech in front of more than 100 people. Who among you have delivered more than 100
She put
people?
me for the last one.
Who's the one who delivered
I
a speech?
have more than 100, but I think she got me for the last one.
Okay, so what
So you disagree on that you have never
Never has
you have-
saved a life? Okay, so Toastmasters Speak here has saved a life.
So I just said, it was around 10, 12 years back. I was going to the office one day morning. So one lady has zoomed in front of me and fast track. It was somewhere in the internet city. So there was a tunnel, she passed the tunnel and there was a turn. I think she was new that she knew the turn. And when I reached there, the car was banged on the curbstone. It was whole smoke there and she was very nervous. So I stopped my vehicle, then I went near to her. So it's all smoke there. So what happened, I thought it may get fire at any moment. So I just slowly opened the door and pulled her up. That's it.
Never have I ever fallen in love.
Yeah, it's me.
Awesome.
So, my grandmother used to write poems and tell stories, and she used to do that on an armchair, very nice one. So, I really loved to go to her room and listen to her and see her on this armchair. So one day I just asked her, where did you get this armchair and what is this armchair? And she told me that she worked all her life to buy this armchair because this armchair was projected by a famous designer, that was Joe Ponti. And since that day, I discovered design, the word design, so I started checking on internet what design was, and design became my love, and I fell in love, and it's my passion.
It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. The wonderful thing is, she could have just stopped with one word by saying my mother, I was expecting my grandmother, but the way she explained it was beautiful. And that's what I'm expecting today too. Alright? Never have I ever lied to someone in this room.
It's wonderful because everyone has such very nice and engaging, elaborate stories. I don't have such a story. I know a few people here in this room for quite some time, including our Toastmaster of the day, George. So I have definitely lied to him at some point in time. I'm not going to say on what topic or what it was, but that's why I'm here on stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. So that was our first round of Never Have I Ever. As I said, this is a continuous game. So make sure you have your pink and your blue slips throughout. At the end of it, the person with the most I haves will get a prize. So every time I say never have I ever, and you say I have, just mark on your pink slip. So at the end, if you have the most I haves, you're definitely getting something. Awesome? That's that. So now I think it's time to go with our scheduled program for the guests. How it usually goes is in a Toastmasters meeting, we have our project speeches, and once the project speeches begin, we have the evaluation, and then once the evaluation is done, we have a few subcategory roles, and all of these role players work tirelessly in putting forward an amazing show for you today. So, to begin today's proceedings, let me start with Never Have I Ever. So we were supposed to get a word master today, but
He's coming.
But we have got it.
we've got him? Yeah, but we got him. Okay, we've got him. But that word master had something unique about it, which I'm going to say as a never have I ever. So here, the game's going to begin now, yeah? Never have I ever walked into the washroom of the opposite sex. Put up your placards, everyone. So if it's a pink, it means I have. If it's a pink, it means I have. And if it's a blue, it means I've not. And everyone who put up a pink, just mark that I have 1 point now. Sounds good? With that, let me welcome today's word master, Toastmaster Adil. Toastmaster Adil, over to you, please.
I think Toastmaster Manish.
Toastmaster Manish is arrived? Oh, Toastmaster Manish. Did you put a pink up? Okay, Toastmaster Manish, I invite Toastmaster Manish to share the story of when he walked into the washroom of the wrong sex. Toastmaster Manish, please give a big round of applause to Toastmaster.
Good evening, everyone. A customer of mine had a toilet for males in a particular place, and one fine day I just went there, and suddenly I realized that from male it has become female. When I saw the lady inside, and since she knew me, she did not shout, so I immediately came out. But that was a very embarrassing moment at that point of time. So, good evening, everyone. I'm the word master of the day, and the word of the day is serendipity. We pronounce red dip E-T. Serendipity is something when you get some pleasant surprise when you are not expecting anything, and that makes you happy and your life beautiful. The etymology of this word, the serendipity word, was coined by Horace Walpole in 1974. He was an English writer. He drew it from fairy tale. There were three princes in fairy tale who always used to discover something which they have never looked for. And serendip is also an old Persian word for a country's name, Sri Lanka. Meaning of this name I have already explained you. The synonyms is fluke, blessing, good luck, happy chance, and luck. And antonyms is bad fortune, bad luck, and misfortune. The usage. It was a serendipity moment for me when my mentor told me to take the role for becoming a word master for the day. And discovery of America is perhaps the most important case of serendipity in history. And the discovery of penicillin was also purely serendipity because this was discovered accidentally by Dr. Alexander in 1928. And that has helped many people with the disease and have cured the diseases. Thank you so much. So I encourage everyone to use this word as much as possible today. And now I would call Miss Nisha to use the word. Please come and use this
It is a moment of serendipity
as you as my mentee standing there and being the word master.
Now, I would request one volunteer to use this word.
I give my 100% to my organization. That is a serendipity for my boss. But in return, I'm not getting the salary as required. That's anti-serendipity.
Now I will call upon Ms. Rashmi to use this word.
Me getting called up for every table topics and round robin is in fact painful but sweet serendipity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Once again, request to all of you to use this word as much as possible. Thank you.
And another round of applause for Manish for sharing his never have I ever. Alright, so now we are on to project speeches. I think I'm going to just stay here and all the actual role players to be on the stage because I'm already sweating from getting up and down the stage. Okay, so next we're moving on to project speeches. So to all the guests out here, project speeches is what DV had mentioned at the very beginning. It's part of the Pathways program, and that's how you level up based on whatever the goals, the focused goals that you have achieved. And that's how you reached it. It's your path to a moment of serendipity. Okay? And also, whenever someone uses serendipity, you gotta clap. Yeah? That's how it works. Okay. Time for our next never have I ever. Yeah? Never have I ever fallen asleep in front of my lunch. Never have I ever fallen asleep in front of my lunch. How can you sleep?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And to explain that, let me call upon our first speaker, Toastmaster Nathalie Sade. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Evaluation.
Thank you. Can I skip the microphone?
Sure. Yeah. You have to talk about your never have I ever, by the way. It's not your speech start. Talk about the time that you slept in front of the lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just 5 years old.
Okay.
But the funny part when I slept in the nightclub.
Okay. Then we can. She has slept in light club also by mistake. So
We want to hear that.
Yeah, we want to hear that. Yeah, go for it.
I just slept. I was doing something tired. And for the lunch, I came back from school. And I was also tired, apparently. That's my mom's story.
Awesome. So can I have the evaluator for the first speech, please?
One more time, good evening fellow Toastmasters. It's a true serendipity to be here. And let me please introduce our speaker number one, Toastmaster Nathalie Sade. Correct? This is the very first speech of the project Pathway Effective Coaching. And this is an icebreaker, and purpose of this speech, of this project, is for introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. The speech title, Who Am I? Thank you. Round of applause.
We become what we think about all day long. As you think, so shall you be. Who am I? This question we keep asking ourselves. I believe that we are spiritual beings having human experience. And where we are today is a result of the decisions and choices we took yesterday. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My journey started 37 years back in Lebanon. I was born in the middle of the war, and since that time it has been so active. Being raised in a very loving and caring family, very much education-oriented, since my parents
met each other in university. I was blessed with a fulfilled childhood, and my mother left behind her dream of laboratory and kept aside her bachelor degree of chemistry. We were privileged to have her presence and guidance all our years of growing. As for me, my dream was big, not less than a managerial position, which led me to the business university back in Beirut. And little I knew how I ended up with a master's degree in auditing. From chief accountant, accountant instructor, financial controller, nothing really fulfilled my why in life. I've never wanted to be surrounded by numbers, being locked in an office behind a screen. I always wanted to be around people, to deal with people. I moved to Dubai after getting married. This was a serendipity. And I was lucky enough to have a full year of honeymoon, traveling around. 1 year and 3 months has passed. It was time for me to go back to a career that I'm not really passionate about. Again, another serendipity. It turned out that I was expecting my baby. And just like my mom was fully present for me, I wanted to be fully present for my own baby. But this came with lots of hardship. And this perfectionist woman does not dedicate easily. She wanted to do it all by herself. Trying to master maternity and everything that comes with it, I reached a point where I look at the mirror and question my identity. Who am I? Is that that's it for me? Just being a mother? Is that enough? Again, living my mom's story, putting aside my dream? And in this moment, when I realized that by raising this child, I was rising up. And it was through maternity that I discovered my real self and what I really want to do in my life. And here my spiritual journey started. Reading, studying, workshops, webinars, seminars, which led me to emotional intelligence, life coaching, and NLP. And thanks to NLP, I was introduced to Toastmasters when I was trying to find a good place to master my public speaking. But in the middle of this chaos, I realized, especially from NLP, that I was using this blame frame instead of the outcome frame. And I was playing the victim of my life, where I am the hero of my life, and I can drive the seat. I was wondering that it doesn't matter what I do or what I have. What really matters is who we become through the process. We don't trust the process, we trust the process. And as Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Logic can get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Dream it, manifest it, live it. Thank you.
Toastmasters Natalie.
Thank you.
Let's all have 1 second. Toastmasters Natalie. Let's all have a standing ovation as it's a first icebreaker speech. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. So on to our next speaker. She's a relationship coach at LEA Growing People and Hakini. Let me welcome Toastmaster Jana Morton. May I please have the evaluator of speech too also?
Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
It's always a moment of serendipity whenever we enter. The speech speech title, Gallophobia, and the purpose statement, the purpose of the project is for the member to practice using both vocal variety and the body language to enhance the speech. Yep. All the best.
Okay. Never have I ever imagined that I will ever overcome my horrifying fear of sharks, otherwise known as gallophobia. Dear Toastmasters and dear guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Do I have water in my ear? Good evening.
Good evening.
There you go. I'm curious. Which one of you saw the movie Jaws? Raise your hand. Okay, you here. Excellent. So, you know that in this movie, Steven Spielberg portrays sharks as absolute ruthless beasts that see you swimming on the surface, innocently kicking your legs, and they go after you to eat you and tear you apart. When I saw the movie, I developed this horrifying fear of sharks. And I am from Czech Republic. We don't have sea, we don't have oceans. We have freshwater rivers and lakes. There are no sharks. But even in those waters back home, I was terrified of sharks. Then in my early 20s, I went to Egypt and the gorgeous Red Sea for the very first time. And even there, I would make sure that I'm very close to the beach, just in case the shark comes and wants to attack me, so I have enough time to run and save my own life. And then one day I looked far, and there were all these people with this colorful tube sticking out of their mouth, kind of watching something in the sea. And I got curious, what are they seeing there? So I decided to rent the snorkeling equipment and try what I've seen over there. So I put my goggles on one day, the colorful snorkel, and I put my head in the water. And there was a pure moment of serendipity. I had no idea what's underneath me. It was absolutely gorgeous. All the little fish swimming around, nibbling on coral. All the little crabs crawling on the sandy bottom. There was so much to see, so much life. I was so surprised. And I got completely distracted. And in relatively short period of time, I was able to reach quite far from the shore. And then all of a sudden, the reef that I was watching had a steep drop down and disappeared in the deep blue. And in front of me, all I could see was this vast, deep blue. And I got scared. I got terrified. I thought, oh my God, if the shark shows up now, I'm easy target. He's going to come and eat me. And the people all the way there will not even know. And there, all of a sudden, I saw shark. I'm shaking just even thinking about it now. And all I wanted to do is to turn and swim as fast as I could back to the shore. But the fear completely washed over me, and I was frozen. I couldn't move. All I could do is just watch this creature that was around 15 meters underneath me passing by. And then he disappeared, and I was safe. I made it back to the shore all in one piece. And this first experience meeting shark, I didn't get rid of my fear at all. It kind of escalated. But then I thought, this shark didn't really look like he was interested in me. He was just minding his own business, passing by the reef. And I thought, what if I would be in the same depth with this creature? Would I be so scared? Because the fear I noticed is about being on the surface, not knowing what's underneath, and being completely exposed. So I decided to take scuba diving course and got certified as an open water diver. And there it was, my first diving trip back to Egypt and the gorgeous Red Sea. And there, another moment of serendipity. With my full scuba diving gear on, the air tank, my wetsuit, I went into the magic room and I completely fell in love. What really, really got me, being able to be deep in the water with all the beautiful creatures, it's not only the vibrancy of all the colors and the shapes and all the life that is underneath the water, but the deeper I go, the more quiet it is. And I experience such a beautiful slow pace, such a serenity. I developed a huge passion for scuba diving. And I'm a diver over 15 years now. And all these experiences that I have underwater taught me that the only way forward, how to get rid of any fear, is to face the fear as close as possible. Anytime I see sharks, they are not interested in me. They just mind their own business. And they are so majestic in the water that it's so beautiful to watch them. So now anytime I dive, I wish I see shark. So this 15 years of experience underwater taught me to face my fear. And the more I face the fear, the smaller the fear becomes. And it's the same in life. We all have fears, right? We all are scared sometimes. Let's not forget the fear of public speaking. And each and every one of you know that as soon as you face the fear, as soon as you stay on the stage and face the fear really close, the more you do this, the less the fear has the power to take over you. Thank you.
Another big round of applause, Rihanna. Before you leave, though, we didn't touch on your never have I ever.
Okay.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Never have I ever snuck out of the house at night while everyone was sleeping. Okay, I can see a few pink. You're not alone.
That's incredible.
You're not alone.
I thought I was such a rebel, but welcome all the rebels here.
Want to speak about it?
Okay.
Okay.
So just
Go for it.
briefly.
Yeah.
I was 14 years old, and there was a big party happening, and my parents told me, okay, you are not old enough to go to any party, you need to be 15. And it was, let's say, 4 months before I turned 15, but I so wanted to be in that party because there was object of my interest. So I waited for my parents to go to bed. And I escaped through the garden along the river. I would never do it now, I would be so scared. And there I was at the party. And the party was amazing. And I returned very late in the morning. And they caught me. And then I couldn't go to the party until I was 16. So whole year of punishment on top of that. Was it worth it? Not really.
Your next speech.
Yeah, but I think this is worth it. Thank you. Jana, this is for you. Thank you so much. And awesome. How's it going so far?
Great.
Great? Yeah? It'll get better, trust me. It's just wrapping up, I guess. Alright, time for speaker number 3. Speaker number 3 is a partner in Zamil Decor, which specializes in wood and steelworks for the interior industry. Let me welcome Toastmaster Suketu Dhanaj. We also have the evaluator for the third speech. Please, Toastmaster Srihan.
The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for making speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. The goal is to meet their express purpose statement with a well-executed speech. All the best.
Thank you. Okay, so the subject for today is storytelling. Everyone has a story. Everything around us has a story. The buildings we see in Dubai has its stories. The dress which Toastmaster Divi is wearing also has a story. The wrinkles you see on Toastmaster Saleh's also has a story. Story is a great form of communication. Tell me, if you are reading a storybook and nothing bad happens in chapter 1, would you go to chapter 2? Let's say you don't read storybooks. Do you watch shows on Netflix? Let's say you are watching a movie and nothing bad happens in the first 15 minutes. There is no kidnapping, no murder, no drama. Would you continue watching that show? Because there is no greater challenge. If the story is not so powerful that there are no challenges in it. And greater the challenge, the greater the story. So everyone has a story in life, and bigger the challenge is, the bigger the story will be. Tell me, would Mr. India be great if Mocambo was a Pappu? Any Avengers fan over here? Tell me, would Thanos, if Thanos was not an evil, would Avengers be great? The story would be nothing. So a great story requires a great challenge. And greater the challenge, the greater the story. So I don't care whether you are a 20-year-old or a 60-year-old. Do you have a great story in your life which are full of challenges and overcoming challenges? Have you ever written it down? Have you ever shared it with your people, with your family members, with your company, with your associates? This is why countries in the West have great marketing, great branding, and great advertising. Do you all agree with me that countries in the West are great in advertising and branding? Why are they great? Because they have great stories to sell the products. I'll give you one small example about it. One small example is, for example, have you heard about the word meditation?
Yes.
Where is meditation coming from? It comes from India. But look at the countries in the West. It's $1 million industry in the West. One more example. There's in California, they sell bulletproof coffee. In case if you have heard about it, it's almost 20 to 25 US dollars. A cup of coffee, bulletproof coffee. Have you heard about it?
Yes.
What does bulletproof coffee have?
Fat.
It's just a cup of black coffee with a teaspoon of butter. And they make $1 million industry out of it. So that's how they sell a great story with a powerful impact. And that's how they make the industry so quite big. So my only question is, next time when you communicate with any of your friends and family, or even with your clients, try to share a great story, because that's how you will be able to communicate with them and connect with them more importantly. They'll be able to get associated what you want to get connected with. And to end with, let me share you one famous quote that great ideas don't always sell. A great person does not always sell. Great products don't always sell. But a great story shall always sell. So please do share your business success stories or your family stories when you are speaking with your family members and getting connected with. Thank you.
A wonderful round of applause, Toastmasters together. You haven't completed your never have I ever?
No.
Yeah. All right. So, never have I ever ran away from school. We've got some company. Toastmasters Gitu.
I was never a great student of learning and never a good student in academics. So in class 8, I had not finished my homework and I was too scared to go in front of the teacher to present my homework. So from the back door, when they were taking the mark sheets, I just left the class, left the school, and after 1.5 hours, when the whole school was searching for me, they found me in the bus stop.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing it. Here's a cup of bulletproof coffee. All right. Time for the timer. May I please invite Toastmaster Rashid Syed, our last minute savior.
Good evening. My name is Rashid Sayed. I'm playing the role of timer today. The timer role, the main purpose of the timer is he has to note down the time, start time and the ending time of the speakers. And so I just want to share this the importance of this timer role. This is the second time I'm playing a timer role in this session. Before that also I had once experience. So I just want to tell you about timing in the meeting. It's so important. So I'm a technical person, so I'm very passionate about my job, my skills. So it's often happened that in the meeting, I overrun. So like for example, it's a 30 minutes meeting. Sometimes I go 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So once it happened, it was a huge meeting, like 10, 15 people were there in the meeting. So not realizing that not all of them are technical people. So, there are some finance people in this meeting and they were so irritated, they logged out from the meeting abnormally because I overrun by 15 minutes. So while in the Toastmaster, I realized the importance of timing. So now I'm very bit careful when I attend the meeting. I just stop at the right time. So this is helping me and understanding the importance of timing in the meeting. So today I'm going to tell you the timer. The first speaker, Natalie Sade, took 4 minutes 50 seconds, and she's qualifying for this round. The second speaker, Yana Martin, yeah, took 5 minutes 50 seconds, which is perfectly okay. The third speaker, Suketu, took 4 minutes 16 seconds, which is not qualifying for this round. You have to speak at least 5 minutes. So you are not qualifying, but everybody is qualifying. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters.
Alright, so I guess all of you should have the Menti code right now. All Toastmasters in the room can vote for the best speaker with the Menti code 745-80318. Just a reminder, only Toastmasters can vote. Alright, so has everyone voted? Do you need the Menti code again?
All the speakers are not there.
745800318.
Third one is not counted.
Not all the speakers are there.
Yes, only.
Third one
Third one is only. Because of that.
Okay, so before we end the first half and go for the break, let me. So before the group picture also, let me go for another never have I ever. Never have I ever been afraid of speed. Never have I ever been afraid of speed. Speed. Okay, I can see a few things. Okay. So you put the pink up if you are afraid of speed. I'll just share a personal story here. About 4 years back, I met with the massive car crash. And you take that. So I met with a massive car crash, and my car was totaled. There was a hole in the engine, and we barely survived. And from then on, for some reason, I just couldn't get myself to drive. So my dad, he was like, after 1-2 weeks, he was like, let's go on a drive. And then he made me drive through the same road Then I went on the accident and I just felt, okay, that's it. I can drive properly here. And honestly, it wasn't my fault also. It's just, I was honestly too fast to take any reaction against the guy coming my way. So that was something that I never thought I would overcome, which I did. I want to do something similar to the people who put up a pink for never have I ever been afraid to speak. So who all put pink up? Who all feel that they are scared? Toastmasters, can I please have you on stage and talk about why you are afraid of speed?
It's a long story, cut short, but then backseat driving is one of the most dangerous thing in this world. My wife got a driving license and I was sitting in the back and I started instructing her. So there was a turn in the petrol station and all of a sudden my wife started driving very slow on that lay-by kind of a road. And I started asking her, speed up man, speed up. It's an 80 kilometers road and you are driving at only 30, 40 kind of a thing. So she just put the pedal up and then the speed was 120. And all of a sudden there was a petrol pump in a spur of a moment and I said, take a right, take a right, take a right. And then she it banged, the Honda Accord got crashed completely. The airbags have come out and we got saved, thanks to God. But backseat driving.
Why that's your fault on the front?
No. I was sitting in the back side and she got a driving license, so I just asked her, okay, confidence to just get confidence.
Thank you so much. Wait a second. Thank you so much for sharing. Toastmaster Deal. Here is a cup, but the thing is, the only thing that we can use to get overcome the fear of speed is to go faster than ever. So the world's fastest vertical roller coaster has just opened in Dubai Hills Mall. Here's a ticket for you. Alright then, so we are going to pause for a break, but before that a quick photo. Everybody, please. Huh? Yeah, I think everybody can get the blue and the pink sheet also just for aesthetic purposes. Yeah. Everybody on the stage, and then we have a quick break for 10 minutes. And yeah. Everyone's in? Everyone's got the papers? They have blue and pink papers. Where's the bell ringing? Ring, 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 ring. Okay. Yes.
Where is it?
Okay, let's go. Okay, everyone's got their pink and blue slips because we're going to play Never Have I Ever Again. Just to warm up after the break, after the coffee, just sort of kick in. Okay, everyone's got their papers ready? Yeah. Awesome. Never have I ever stopped watching a horror film because it was too scary.
Yes means I stopped?
Yes means
I
I stopped, yes. Okay.
Many times.
Okay, I can see a lot of cons, but I can see that this is settling down. Okay, while they settle down, let me share a quick story, personal story again. I went with a friend of mine to this escape room a few months back. And so me and my friend, we're like very adventurous. We do all kinds of crazy stuff. We are like this never say never kind of people. So I remember going to the escape room and saying, yeah, go full extreme. Yeah, live actors. Yeah, let's go full extreme. And about 15 minutes down, my friend was like, I can't feel my heart, bro. I can't feel my heart. I'm gonna die. Let's quit. So scariness of getting scared is, I feel, one of those feelings that is completely in our head. And especially with horror films, ghosts and all that. And honestly, just takes a bit of willpower and maybe a strong friend next to you. So let me ask the question again. Never have I ever stopped watching a horror film because it was too scary. Okay, I can see a few pinks. Would anyone want to come up and share the story? All right, Christine, let's go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I was gonna ask you if I could share a tip, a trick I use when watching horror movies, because you know that suspense, that music makes me really like so scared.
Okay.
So what I do, I just mute the music and it changes it completely. It's the music that is a very big factor in scaring the people in the movies.
Okay.
So when I do that, I'm like, okay, it's not as bad. It's like 80% less scary than with the music on.
Do you have a experience you could share that you was?
So for me, the most scary movie ever was Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone here watched it. So it was done like, it was like sort of amateur movie done by students, I think as part of their university project. And the most scary about it is that you don't see anything. The whole movie is, it's like you see it from, let's say, behind the camera, as if someone is filming, and you see the movie through the lens of the person who is filming. But you don't see that witch or that monster, or you don't see it at any time, but you just see everything else that happens. So it was so scary in the unknown, actually.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your scary story, Christine.
Thank you.
But I think you're an expert. So I think you're not going to get scared that easily. So I invite again for somebody to share something that actually scared them, and they were like really scared.
Oh, me?
Can you
someone.
share?
Something that really scared me.
Let's just scare you. Actually, right before the break, Nisreen told me that she rode a bike at 220 kilometers per hour. So nothing's gonna scare you, Nisreen. Let me ask somebody else. Yeah. So somebody else has got really scared and wants to share that story. Anybody? Really scared about something, Salim? You have something? Come on.
On my wedding day, I got scared.
Come on, let's have that story. Let's go.
I hope it's not recording and I don't send this thing to my wife.
It's fine. We cut that up.
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
You can pause the recording.
Yeah, of course.
Now you people are scaring me. Look this fellow.
Okay.
Let's zoom it in. Everybody is scaring me out. It was my wedding day. And definitely it was not my wife who scared me out, but it was my wife's dad who scared me. The first thing what he asked me, ours was not a love marriage, it was an arranged marriage in India, you know how it is. So the first thing he asked me was, "Beta, come here." In India, son means beta. Son, come here. And I went, I was completely on an attire of a bridegroom. And my father-in-law asked me, "Kitna kamate ho? How much do you earn?" And I was like, And then I told some figure and he said, "My daughter eats that every breakfast. Her one sari cost that," because my wife was a celebrity before the marriage. She was a singer in Bollywood movies and Indian movies. So I said, my father-in-law, that I don't earn that much, but what I can give it to her is love, a heart full of love. And today we are married for last 16 years, happily ever after. So that was a scary moment when my father-in-law scared me out.
Awesome, thank you so much. Here's a cup. And also I hope you heard Nisreen's crazy tip, because you're really going to need it. Because over here you can't mute. So this is the tickets for you and your wife to Hysteria. It's a scary, really scary ghost house that you can go into Dubai Mall for you to get scared together. Okay, cheers.
My wife will see the ghost in me.
Okay, so now that we have gone through the never have I ever, we're going to the proceedings again. So what's next? We've got a very, very, very electric table topic session by our graphic designer and freelancer, our maestro in all these posters, Toastmaster Bosco Masculinus.
Thank you. Never have I played
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, my dear Toastmasters and guests. Say good evening.
Good evening.
So I am here as your table topic master, and my role is to facilitate this session. I'll be calling one of the speakers here and give a topic, and the person has to speak for 2 minutes. The timing rules will be 1 minute. The timer is here. The timer will display the green light. 1.5 minutes it will be amber, and 2 minutes it will be red. And you have 30 seconds grace time to wrap up your speech. And we'll be voting for a best table topic speaker. And if you want to get qualified for that voting, you have to speak for more than 1 minute and less than 2.5 minutes. And for the voting, the guests are also included. Okay? So that's a privilege you're getting today to vote the guests. So, shall we start?
Yes.
You must be wondering what I am carrying. This is a book which one of my favorite books, and I thought of using this book for the topics today. So, first I will call the guest to the stage, and then I will give the topic. I'm not going to name the person. I'm going to give some kind of what do you call that? Clues, yeah. And the person will know who it is. Okay? First I'm going to call a district officer, okay? A division director. And if that division director is a lady, you can come to the stage. Please, guys, you can clap a little louder. Because after the break, you all had snacks and chai, so it should be louder. Welcome, Toastmaster Mida. She is a division director, and the topic for you is this is my favorite book. The book's title is Everything is Figure Outable. Okay? Probably the grammarian will not agree to this, but to make it simple, everything can be figured out. Okay? So I'll start with the title. So I have so many things inside, but for you, I want to give the title. Everything is figure outable. Over to you. You need the mic?
Yeah. It depends. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, then I won't use it. How many of you love doing puzzles? Okay, the jigsaw puzzles. Okay. So if you know how to put together those jigsaw puzzles, then everything is figure outable in life. That's what I believe. I'm a huge fan of jigsaw puzzles. At first, when you look at the picture, you're like, this seems really hard. You scattered all the puzzles everywhere, and then you start picking up the pieces, one by one. At first, you're clueless. How should I begin? Where should I begin from? How can I go forward? But then there comes a point when you start putting together every single piece, one by one. Things started becoming more clear and clear. And that's when you know that yes, everything in life is figurable. Now I'm just trying to figure out who is the timer and where is he located. So yes, and sometimes things might seem really difficult, maybe messy, like a web. But at the end, you know that yes, once you have all the pieces sorted out, once you put them together, you know that you will be able to figure it out and it becomes figurable. Thank you so much.
Big round of applause for I need the mic. And what I heard Toastmaster Midat saying is, everything is figure outable, and
she gave a very good analogy of a jigsaw puzzle. How you assemble the jigsaw puzzle one by one and you figure out how to finish it. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Mida. So the next speaker I'm going to call is having a officer role of the Dubai Toastmasters Club, a lady, not you, VP membership of our club. Toastmaster listening. You want a hard topic or a simple topic? Great. The worst lies are the lies we tell ourselves. I'll repeat. The worst lies are the lies we tell ourselves.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bosco. Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters guests, good evening. The worst lies are the lies we tell ourselves. We might think that we are very honest with ourselves because we are all the time with ourselves. Most of the time we are with ourselves. However, sometimes what happens is that we have this inner voice or voices sometimes. Sometimes it's only one voice, sometimes it's our voice, our parents' voice, our friends' voices, like this chatter of voices inside that sometimes we don't know, is it ours or is it someone else? And sometimes this voice might say something contradictory with the other voice. I see some faces getting confused here. I would say that a voice might say something and another one might say something else. And you might be wondering which voice is being truthful and which voice is lying. How can we be more honest with ourselves? By one, facing our fears. Like another Toastmaster was speaking about the fear, or like Toastmaster Yana also mentioned the fear. I would say the more we are close to ourselves, the more we spend time with ourselves, could it be in meditation or just taking the time being with ourselves, because we spend a lot of time with people, with our families, with friends, with colleagues, that sometimes, even for people who live alone, we barely spend much time with ourselves. I would say the more time we can spend with ourselves, the more we can face ourselves face to face and look at ourselves in the mirror and try at least to be more honest. Thank you.
What Toastmaster Nesreen conveyed to us was that we hear a lot of voices in our heads and we are confused whether it is truth or lie. And she suggested to do things like meditation, look at the mirror, spend time with ourselves, and that will help us to know the truth. Right? Big round of applause for Toastmaster Nesreen. Okay. Okay, let me call a guest for a change, okay, and male for a change. This person has 3 words in the name. The name starts with B and ends with N.
Ben?
Ben.
Easy on.
Ben is not here?
Where is Ben?
Okay, so let's see who we can. Can I call guest Alexandra?
topics is very hard to get. You are 100% responsible for your life. You are 100% responsible for your life.
Okay. You are 100% responsible for your life. Yes, it's your life. You're living your own story, and all the choices you make, they determine the result of your actions. So sometimes it's easy to think that something is taken care of you, maybe your parents, your friends, but at the end it's only you who will face all the results of what you are doing. And I would say that you shouldn't be afraid of taking decisions. You should be always searching for something new in your life. You shouldn't be afraid, and even if you make mistakes, you get more experience, and it's always worth trying. And you should trust yourself. You should trust in yourself, and this trust that you put on yourself, it's the responsibility. It's like it's your life. And what else would I say? For the responsibility, sometimes it's a problem of the family, because I'm also a mother, and when you take too much care of your kids, they may think that all the responsibility stays with you, as like an older one, but you should give them more freedom. I mean that you should trust your children also, so they can start taking responsibility of their own lives at an early stage, because they will become more strong. They will be more prepared for the real life. And that's it.
If you're wondering why I didn't introduce her like I did for other people, now I'm introducing her. Her name starts with A, her name is Sudhir. Okay, finally, now I have only one more person who I'm going to call for this, and I'll check the book. And now I'm going to call an ex-DTC person, ex-member of the Dubai Toastmasters Club, who's come back to today's meeting. And who's that? Let's welcome Toastmaster Joy. So your topic is, in this room, there is a person whom you admire a lot. Okay? So I want you to talk about that person for 2 minutes. The challenge is, don't name that person. Over to you.
Good evening, my fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. Now I have to talk about somebody in this room, and I need not have to take his or her name. Well, there is a person in this room whom I really admire. And why do I admire? Because one of the reasons I admire is normally because of a fallacy in human mind, or normally, if you may say, that culturally we think that they are weaker, but they aren't. They aren't. They are now leading everywhere. Even the nations are led by them. Even the corporates are led by them. And today, even the Toastmaster clubs are led by them. I'm not naming. I'm not responsible if you're guessing. So I am really admirer of those people and that person whom we think weaker, but they come as the most stronger. And sometimes we get to understand that from where they come out, from where their power comes out. Sometimes we do not understand. There is a reason for it. Because we men don't bear that pain, which sometimes causes like 206 bones breaking together. They do it. And when they do it, for me as a man, and for me as an ex-military, I need to salute whoever it is. And that is why the person admires me a lot. The person who leads, who takes up the leading role. And I can tell you one thing more. I have been an ex-DTC and I can see a transformation. Trust me, there is a transformation. Where I left and where I am joining today. There is a huge transformation. And for that huge transformation, all the praise, maybe, I don't know who were the predecessors, but what I come to know is, it's that person. A big round of applause for that person. Yes. I will take the name now. The speech is over. Let it be a secret. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Another big round of applause for Toastmaster Joy and all the table topic speakers who came here, stood for 2 minutes and spoke. They are really brave people, and particularly Joy. I don't want to know that person. Maybe that is me also. I don't know. Okay, but what I found out from your speech is this person has been coming from a weaker side, and you saw the transformation in that person. And the transformation happened because of the club, because of the people, because of the seniors, because of the seniors, etc. So it is good that I'm seeing you here today and you expressed yourself, and let that person be your secret admirer, and let's all give a big round of applause to that person, whoever it is. Now that brings this session to a close. Let me call the timer to give out the timer's report.
Good evening again. So the total program, the whole program took about 16 minutes, which is slightly higher than the normal time. But I will talk to speaker. I will talk about the speaker one, TM Mida. Yeah. She took about 1 minute 30 seconds, which qualifies. VP membership TM Naseem took about 2 minutes 25 seconds, which is also qualifying for this round. Guest Alexandra, yeah. She took 2 minutes 1 second, which is also qualifying. TM Joy, yeah. Joy took, allotted time was 2 minutes. He took 2 minutes 20 seconds, but I think this is qualified. Thank you very much.
And thank you to Toastmaster Bosco for a wonderful table topic session. So I was going to do Never Have I Ever for Toastmaster Bosco, but I'm sure no one's going to put their cards up for this one, because this man here once tried to connect power for a Christmas party and made sure that the power line of an entire street was out. So no one's going to put their hands up for this. Everybody give a round of applause for this legend here. And here is thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bosco. Now it's time for the voting. The voting for the table topics. All the members here in this room can log in to this particular website called Mentimeter. It's www.mentimeter.com and type in the code
74580318.
74580318. And all of you can vote for the table topic speech that you like the most. All of them are qualified. Okay, so considering we are running a bit.
What can you repeat again? The code?
The code is 74580318.
Okay, Alright then, I'm just gonna go forward. Hope all of you have voted. Now we are moving to a very critical part of the Toastmasters meeting, that is the evaluation. So let me first call on our first evaluator, the travel counselor, our very own Toastmaster Misha. Toastmaster Misha, everyone.
Thank you. How about have I ever later?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Once again, welcome, dear guests, fellow Toastmasters, everyone. Let me please first congratulate our first speaker. You challenged yourself today. You did well. Congratulations. That was icebreaker, and the purpose was to introduce yourself to the club. Last time on the meeting, there was an idea from Maher that we should evaluate the delivery of the speech, not the speech itself. However, I want to say that the topic is very close to me because I'm father of two, I was on paternity leave, and I was also in this search of passion and something that I would love to do. So yeah, it's a powerful personal story and I love it. Thank you so much for that. Let me talk about the delivery of the speech. First of all, not everybody came on the stage confidentially, with a smile. She opened the speech with the questions and grabbed our attention, right? The gestures were there, the moves on the stage, and the speech was well structured, very well delivered, with a confidence, and you know, you're a natural storyteller, I would say. However, what would I expect from my evaluator to say about the delivery? What might be better? What should I would improve? First of all, you move on the stage from one side to another without any reasonable idea why. When you stopped on the center, I was like, finally, from this center point, there will be a very nice position to talk to everyone and to get eye contact with everyone. Because sometimes I felt like you more talking to floor than to audience. Well, the timing was 4:50, and there was quite 1 minute with something you could talk about. And you mentioned that something was missing, but still, I would expect to get some more details. But you mentioned you have a kid. Who is it, boy or girl? How old is he or she? And what did you feel about, how did you feel after you experienced this transformation? Also, I missed a bit voice modulation, especially when you're talking about your passion, about what you fond of, this spiritual journey, right? So yeah, conclusion. I would say use the stage to enhance your speech and make more eye contact. People are listening to you carefully. And also, I understand this is first speech and voice modulation is something to experience later, but still try to implement it in your later speeches. Add some salt and pepper. Thank you so much.
Last year, never have I ever. Never have I ever broken a bone on my body. Never have I ever broken a bone on my body. Okay.
So no means
No means you have a bone on your body. Okay, so we have Toastmaster Misha, who's an adventurous, by the way, but hasn't broken a bone in his body. So please.
Yeah, but the night is young, right? Yeah, maybe my craziest situation was when I was on the wedding, and I was like 20 years old or something, it was before marriage and everything. And there was a girl I wanted to impress. And well, you know, there was a very high bank of the river, like 20 meters. And I jumped it from there, took in the water, swim out, understand that that was stupid. But thanks God, no bones broken.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nisha. We come for you. Thank you. On to our next evaluator for the day. He's a program management professional and a digital transformation lead at Alpha Team. May I please invite Toastmaster Amitava Saha.
Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What a splendid moment to listening to Yana. When it feels like we are all, this is an underwater, and without spending any bucks from the pocket, from underwater zoo or any of the things, we have experienced the underworld journey here. Yeah, thank you, speaker. So, the first speech, I think the topics was very interesting, because even the Galopavia, when I came to know, I was not knowing is a fear of shark. But the way it has been introduced by the speaker and explaining it, how it is started, the journey after with the help of Spielberg's Jaws, it's mesmerized everyone. And it looks like that we are all seeing the movie together. Yeah. Also, during the journey when she explained the fish movement or underwater movement during his hand gestures, this also is very good connect, so that the people can more easily can relate the things which is happening in the underwater without expressing. So the movements or the fish movements, the way the creatures in the underwater has been well depicted. She don't only share the phobia, she also shows the way to overcome that. And it's very important that how you can train your mind to overcome the fear, because the formula of all the fears will be the same. And the way she has shown that's with the training from the scuba diving. So she shows the way, every fear has a way to overcome that. And with that, I think there are some of the points which can also helps to improve. So whenever she can start the speech, if she can take a pause with a smile, because she's already having a blissful smile. With that smile, she can connect the audience, and it will help to connect the audience much better. And she can able to also raise the voice tone a little bit. And even I think there is no harm to take the mic so that it will be easier to get connected. And in short, because there are a lot of emotional turbulence has been there in that story, it should have been more emotional punch. It could have been a better story. So in summary, the storyline is good. With that voice modulations and little bit emotional punch, it could have been better. Thank you.
We are very interesting. Never have I ever. Let's go. Never have I ever spent 24 hours in a casino. Anybody? Oh, we have, you're not alone. We have a few videos, but please do share your experience.
Yeah, it happened when I first time a project has been Nepal, and one of my project mate introduced to that word called casino, and unfortunately there is no watch in the casino. And in the very first day, we realized that we entered around 6 o'clock in the evening, and when you're coming out, it's weekend, it's 6 o'clock in the next evening. So I think that's the first and that is the last. But yes, it's an experience.
I don't know what you will fill inside this cup though. So thank you so much for sharing. Give a round of applause to the Alright, moving on to our next evaluator. We have a commercial manager in facilities management, Toastmaster Srijit Vasandan.
Toastmasters. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Okay, the speaker was delivering Project 1, Level 2 speech, and the talk was why storytelling. Topic was good, excellent. It's especially for people like me. Whenever my younger kid comes and asks to tell a story, I give 10 reasons not to tell it, because I have this great feeling that in order to be a storyteller, you have to have imaginary skills. You have to blow out things out of proportions. So I'll take some cues from you. In fact, one of the main reasons I joined Toastmasters is to tell a story. Okay? So your start was good. Everybody has a story, obviously. Everything has a story. And you can make a story out of nothing as well. You can make good stories from bad experience. So it's very good. And you had very good clarity on your voice. And I like your pause continuous as well. It's good. And speed of the speech was excellent. And eye contact was there. And you said greater the challenge, greater the story. Yes, true. There are some great stories out of great challenges. And you used hand gestures very well. And especially we learned a new thing, in fact, like bulletproof coffee. I would like to know more about it. We'll talk about after this. Yeah. So that's the points and improvements. The movement was restricted sometimes. You went for a stand and deliver approach in between. So you can have a little bit of movements. Involvement of the audience was very less, in fact, it was not there at all. And you know that you are not qualified the speech because you didn't use your time properly. So one of the things we joined Toastmasters is that they give time to us to make use of it. So time management is very important. When you get the time, make use of it. Apart from that, everything was excellent. And obviously, storytelling brings serendipity to kids. Thank you.
Please, we have a great never have I ever here. I have to read this out. Never have I ever gone on a date with someone who turned out to be a distant cousin. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, this one you are truly unique. Those are please.
This was one awestruck moment, I think. Yeah, it happened way before long, like in 2002, pre-Facebook era. So my friend was dating his girlfriend, obviously, and I was going with them. So one fine day, her friend also started coming. So they were having a nice time, and we started talking to each other. So don't get excited, it didn't reach that far. So, and we happened to meet in one of our cousins' wedding, who's a common link. Then I was like, 1 minute, I was all stuck. Didn't move at all. Then I started researching this girl, who is this girl? And it happened to be my father's best friend's daughter. And yeah, after that we didn't take it much long. It died a natural death.
Thank you so much for sharing. He's a small. Thank you. Alright, we have something special for today. There is a table topics evaluator. So let me please welcome the Senior VP Revenue Management in Fly Dubai, DTM Ramesh Andaran.
Okay, good evening all. I don't think many of you are aware that Toastmaster Bosco was actually doing a speech here. This is a special speech which is not a project, which is not a speech by itself. This is a project where it is testing the person's listening ability. So how do we validate somebody's listening ability is the person has to conduct table topic session in a normal way, and the person has to listen to what each and every table topic speaker is saying, and ability to reflect back on what they have said. And let's look at how well did Bosco do that. The speaker was able to, he did listen to every table topic speaker, and as soon as that speaker left, he summarized saying that, okay, this is what the speaker did. So which validates saying that he was listening to that speaker. He was able to get the gist of what the speaker spoke about, so that means he was listening intently. Now, what are all the things the speaker could have done better? Number one, consistency. He gave feedback of only 3 out of the 4 speakers. The guest Alexandra's speech was not reflected upon. Okay, so what was only 1, 2, and 4. Speaker number 4's messages were reflected upon. You have to be consistent, reflect upon everybody's speech. And number 2, the objective is not to give a summary of the speech, saying that this is what the person said. The objective is to reflect on it. Okay, what is the difference between summary and reflection? Summary is, you say this person said A, B, C, D, E. Whereas a reflection is saying that, okay, let's say Toastmaster Mithad gave a good example of this, which I think helped us to understand this a bit more. Not necessarily saying that Toastmaster Mithad did A, B, said A, B, C, and validating that the Toastmaster, isn't that what you said? No. The objective of the speech is to reflect on. Toastmaster Nisreen spoke about the biggest lies are the lies to tell us. I think gives us an opportunity to reflect upon, did we also do these lies to ourselves? Okay. So the way you approach your listening skills is not by summarizing what the person has said, by reflecting on how you have perceived what that person has said. Otherwise, the speaker did excellently well ensuring that he listened to everybody's speech. Good job. Thank you. Yes.
It's time for Never Have I Ever.
Oh, sure, please, go ahead.
Never have I ever took apart an appliance to see how it works.
Took what?
Took apart an electronic item, an appliance, to see how it works. Okay, we've got a few fellow scientists in the crowd. Please, DT and Ramesh.
No, I used to be very curious right from my childhood to figure out how things are working. But you started even when I was in high school. When I was doing my 7th, 8th standard, I opened up the television, I opened up the radio, I opened up the wet grinder, I opened up the fridge. Generally, I'll be able to put them back together. Okay, the only impact will be once in a while all the electricity will disappear from our houses, the fuse will blow. But at least I knew how to go fix it. My parents were very kind with me. And the advantage is by the time I was doing my 10th standard, I became the local mechanic. Any equipment faults, the first option is, okay, there is a free mechanic available, you get him to first check it out before we need to pay for it.
Thank you so much for sharing. For all the guests here, you may have noticed I called upon Toastmaster Ramesh as not just Toastmaster Ramesh, DTM Ramesh. What that means is Distinguished Toastmaster. That is the highest level of achievement that you can reach in Toastmasters. So another big round of applause for DTM. Before we
call our word master back again. Remember that game I've been telling you about at the very beginning on how many I haves that you're putting up? I think it's time to find the results. So, can any of you who put up I have for more than 3 times just stand up? I have more than 3 times. I have more than 3 times. Okay, that's a lot of you. I think I need Sari's help for this. All of you get cups that we have, been given out. So congratulations to all of you. All of you are unique in your own way, and thank you for playing along. And if you've noticed, you might think why we are giving out cups. It's because usually Never Have I Ever is played with some cups in front of you and something else also along with it. So just to symbolize that we are giving off cups, and considering it's Eid, there's a Eid special cup for all of you. And I hope, by the way, the chance is not over yet. We have a few more Never Have I Ever. So just in case anyone did hit 3 yet, there is still some time to hit the 3 more. Okay?
Do you have cups?
Yeah, we have cups. Only cups though. Alright, can I please have Toastmaster Manish? Alright, just a second. We do. Oh, apologies. We have another timer's report by Toastmaster Roshan for the evaluation.
So this is final for timer. So TM Vishal, you almost crossed 3 minutes 30 seconds. Had you crossed 1 more second, you would have been out, but luckily you qualified. TM Amitwa, you qualified 2 minutes 35 seconds. TM Srijit, 2 minutes 19 seconds, again qualifying. DTM Ramesh, 3 minutes 19 seconds, so you also qualified. Everybody is qualifying for this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we'll go for another voting session. And again, www.mentimeter.com. Only Toastmasters can vote. And the code, I think it is already sent on the group, but the code is
7458031.
7458031. Good memory, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually scared. The general evaluator keeps looking at me like, this guy is taking way too much time. Wait till I get on stage. Alright then, I think that's done. We are moving on to the Wordmasters report again. Let me welcome Toastmaster Manish Badali. Toastmaster Manish Badali. Okay.
Thank you. Serendipity word was used 16 times. I have used 4 times. Mr. George 3 times. Nathali has used 2 times. Jana 1 time. Toastmaster Amita has used 2 times. Ms. Rashmi has used 1 time. Ms. Nisha 1 time. TM Adil 1 time. And Srijit 1 time. Thank you so much for using this word.
Thank you so much for this amazing work. It definitely brought moments of serendipity among all of us. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. Alright, next we have the R counter. He is an information technology IT consultant, Toastmaster Vikash Jalan. Toastmaster Vikash.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. The purpose of this R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I have listened to overused words, including and, well, about, so, and you know. I will also listen the filler words filler sounds including ar. And today's results are, today I think so I should change the topic. It should not be an R counter, it should be the so counter. So normally in every R counter, maximum number of usage will be R, but today was the day where we had maximum number of so's used. Okay, so we had so used 11 times. Okay, R used 10 times, was used twice, was used once, and repetition was twice, and other fillers was once. So I suggest to look for alternative words instead of using so. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikash. We have a never have I ever by Toastmaster Vikash. It's never have I ever bungee jump. Never have I ever bungee jump.
Not yet.
Oh my god, not many. Is there a memory that you want to share? Really quick, please.
It was in my college days. I was doing my graduation in Bangalore, and Bangalore used to have a small bungee jumping platform in Kantirua Stadium. So, motivated with some of my friends, went and paid the fees, signed my death warrant, because that's the statement what it says. Signed my death warrant and jumped. And let me tell you, after I came back, I was silent for another 6 to 8 hours. Full silence. You said, right? You face your fear. I said, I will never do that again in my life. So I have faced it, but I will not do it again.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us for your confidence. Alright, next we have the grammarian for the day. He's a tender engineering manager, power generation, working for GE. May I please welcome Toastmaster Sajid Mazroor. Toastmaster Sajid.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
So I think I miserably failed actually this evening. I kept on trying to find a mistake. Either my grammar itself is too weak to identify some mistakes, or the speakers were too good actually. Although I could find something like few mistakes about plurals, using of is and are, and using some has or have. I think that's very general. The only word which I found at the end of this meeting was underword. It was supposed to be underwater, I think. And I heard underword, which took me to actually our Mumbai underword movies actually. So that's it. I think I was trying to do a good job, but maybe I'll have to do some homework to be a better grammarian. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Never have I ever had to face the burden of being the youngest child in the house. You've got a few friends. We'd like to speak really quickly about it. So
it's a burden of privilege, I don't know. I have got, we are 6 siblings, I'm the youngest one. And in earlier days, when I used to get all the clothes of my elder brothers, so most of the times I used to wear a size 1 or 2 bigger than my actually size, because they are plenty in house. So rather than going for a new buy, I used to get this one. So it was a privilege for me, I think.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Never have I ever acted in a movie before. Anybody? I'm waiting for one pink actually. Okay, we've got 2 movie actresses. Okay. Okay, so let me call upon one of the movie actresses over there, Toastmaster Rashmi Nair, for the general evaluation. She's the one who evaluates the evaluator. So, would you like to speak about the movie a
little bit first?
Sure, why not?
Thank you, Josh. Hi everyone, once again good evening.
Good evening.
Probably the last good evening of this evening. Not the evening, the good part, only the addressing part I meant. So yes, I was lucky enough to fulfill my dream of being an actress last year. It's a movie completely shot in UAE. It's called TMOD. It's a movie made in a regional language, which is my mother tongue. In English, it means 1001 Lives. So it is about the truth and the lives that happens in everyday lives of 5 families. The movie is expected to be released by the end of next month, hopefully. So I'll definitely give you an update. If there is any chance for you guys to watch it, please do watch it. I'll send the Telegram link if you want. I know it's recorded, but it's okay. I have already informed the director that you might have to share the link once you get it. So anyways, that's about the movie. Regarding the task that I had at hand today, now I have a huge respect for the general evaluators. It was a practice for me to be focused, to stay focused for such a long time and note down every nitty-gritties of whatever happens in the meeting. It's not an easy task to do, but then I think the main idea of we all being here is that to be very comfortable with this space. Once we get comfortable with the space, we get to be creative. We get to be at ease and talk at a very personal level. So that I have seen happening for many of our role players and speakers today, and that's exactly what even I am going to do. Because going step by step throughout the agenda would be a tedious task. First of all, congratulations to the ExCom, the VP Education and team, for putting up a great meeting. It was a very meticulously planned meeting. Big round of applause for that. As usual, it's a usual thing in DTC, but since I am the evaluator, I have to mention that the WhatsApp group was formed well ahead in time. All the role players were updated about what they are expected to do, what they can expect from the evaluators or other counterparts. Everything was meticulously done so that every role player had a clear understanding of what is going to happen today. So good job, and a great job on the location to our dear SA and ExCom team again, TM because of late we have been in a position to hunt for new locations, and you guys have been doing an excellent job on that. I know it's very, very hard to find a new location for every single meeting, and you have to come up with great choice. You have to consider multiple things such as parking, space, and everything. So a great job on that. And just starting with the meeting. We started ahead in time, I would say. We started 15 minutes earlier. The essay was on stage at around 7:15 itself. But in a way, it helped, but I would always recommend to start it by 7:30 itself, because if someone is... But in the agenda, it says all present at 7:15, and 7:30 is the sergeant at arms time. So as per the agenda, it's 7:30. So maybe the newcomers especially might expect that they are on time and they might miss the introduction part. That's the only thing. But always this meeting was fun, and therefore having more time to have more fun is always acceptable. So I definitely enjoyed every bit of it, but just to note it down. And SAA always have to come up with a creative way of expressing the mission and vision and taboo topics and everything every single time. Throughout the year, and he has to introduce the same president. I mean, how much can you push yourself to? I have been in that position, so it's a very smart move sometimes to get inspiration from others and then move forward from that. So a very smart move on that, and especially when you started the meeting itself, you got the entire audience engaged. And that continued, luckily, throughout because of our fantastic TMOD. So good job on that. Saleh, great food as always. And our charming president, I have a huge admiration for you, Divya. I've expressed it personally to you. I've been doing a brilliant job along with your ExCom, which shows what an excellent leader you are. So a great way of putting up an introduction for everyone, especially for the guests who are here for the first time. They get a complete idea of what Toastmasters is all about, how Dubai Toastmasters functions, what is our mission, what they would be getting. I'm sure the guests would agree with us. So they definitely had a clear understanding of what Pathways is. It has been very neatly presented in the slides as usual. And our guest always gets an opportunity to talk and have an ice-breaking session in the beginning, which is also great. And we have a template so that even if it is their very first time, they still have something for reference to look at and then talk about. And our guests, our guests did a wonderful job today. We could never believe that you were first timers. I don't think you guys were first timers on stage. It was very eloquent and calm and composed speeches. So congratulations to you all. Word Master, Toastmaster Manish, excellent choice of word, serendipity. It somehow matched with the theme of the day and it gelled it very well. So the speakers could easily use it. I've seen 16 usages today, yeah. So they could easily use it. So very wise choice on the table, on the word. Then coming to the Toastmasters of the day. Oh, I've already exceeded the time. Is it?
No, sorry.
Okay. So Toastmaster George, it's your first time, and I had knowing you, I had an expectation about how it would go, and you have definitely exceeded it. Great job! What an energy! I mean, give him a loud round of applause. What an energy! Always present. He always had the meeting under control. He could manage it. He was spontaneous and creative wherever he had to be. He always welcomed every single role play with great introductions, managed all the pitfalls very well. So congratulations on you. Congratulations for that, George. If this is the beginning, I would definitely be excited to know how it is going to be, moving forward. So congratulations on that. Moving on to our timer, our last minute savior, Toastmaster Rashid. Where is Toastmaster Rashid? Yes. They showed you the exactly. So thank you for taking up the role. You need a special appreciation for that. The last minute challenges, we have faced it multiple times and it will happen every now and then. So having the courage to take up that and say that yes, I am ready to take up the job and I'll do it is something great. So that definitely deserves an applause. So only one suggestion that I would have is, if there is something not very pleasant to be said, it's better not to take the speaker's name. That's it. You still have to communicate whoever is qualified and we can go ahead and vote. But if it doesn't happen for some of the speakers, maybe you can just skip that part or say speaker number 1 and 2 are qualified instead of taking the person's name. But excellent job otherwise. Yeah, thank you very much. Moving on, table topics. Being Bosco, I know how well it will go. He always comes up with very creative, very funny table topics, and today was not different. In fact, I now realize that I have written 4 or 5 pages and I have not gone through any of it. So let me. But Bosco definitely was evaluated by DTM Ramesh, so I don't think I need to go through it one by one, as I had already written that. Instead of giving a briefing about what the speaker said, maybe a footnote would have been better, but he anyways mentioned it. All the speakers were very well evaluated. In fact, all the points that I had noted down was mentioned by the evaluators. So I'll directly move on to the evaluators. Evaluator 1, Toastmaster Misha. He appreciated and analyzed the speech throughout. I'm sure Natalie will be very happy listening to the feedback. And for an icebreaker, it was the apt feedback. So whatever will have to be taken care of for the next speech, only that much has to be delivered for now. She can continue with the rest of the parts later, so that it was very well done. Only one suggestion is that the evaluator had more or less a one-on-one conversation with the speaker. Though the points were very generic and very specific, it could have been addressed to the entire audience. So he also mentioned about how to improve. So a bit of examples on how to, he showed examples on how to improve, so that's also a very good part. Evaluator 2, he was very creative with his feedback, he was also analytic, and he mentioned about how usage of mic would have added to the speech, because the speaker had very much of emotional subtleties in the speech that would have got highlighted in a better way, so he pointed it out. It was to the audience and it was very gently put across, so I appreciate that. Evaluator 3, Toastmasters Srijit, had an interesting beginning about the story, and later on it became a kind of a one-on-one. So I would again suggest to be addressed to the public. The observations were good, very good, but if you could show examples and then explain how to improve, that would be more effective. And the surprising part was that our evaluator, Toastmaster Srijit, explained the feedback to the speaker, and then after his part was done, he was asked about never have I ever, and that was much more, much more interesting in the way he was being himself then. So that was more funny, that was spontaneous, creative, and it was fun to listen to you. So I think that state of mind is what Evaluator 3 should be having throughout. Maybe this is the first time you're doing it, but you're already there, so you can do it. So just a reminder for that. Our counter, or so counter, Toastmaster Vikas, very pleasant, always smiling. He clearly explained his objectives. He was, before even beginning the speech, I was already smiling looking at him because he had such a pleasant face. So he made it funny and creative. For an counter timer, it's always a challenge. They get only 1 minute. What more can you tell? So making it creative is a challenge. Good job on that. And I would like to suggest that there was a suggestion, instead of using so much of sauce, you can come up with something else. That's actually not the idea. Instead of using the fillers, you have to be more mindful of not using it. So that's the only suggestion that I have. Yeah, generally everyone got a chance to speak today. We were a small crowd, so that helped. But I don't think there is anyone who didn't, I think one or two maybe, didn't get a chance to speak. Everybody got some or the other opportunity to come onto the stage and speak. TM even got, not just TM TM Joyver also, I think, got a ticket to a roller coaster ride. So it was a great meeting. I mean, where is the budget coming from? I want to know. So many gifts. It was so interesting. We will definitely want to come back. I'm sure the guests would agree. We got chocolates, we got cups, we got ticket rides to adventure theme parks. Who would not like to come back to such meetings? Not every meeting, okay. But at least this is a serendipity then. We are lucky enough to be here today for this meeting. And yeah, that's one more thing I wanted to mention. Toastmasters meeting is generally a very formal meeting with a very formal template. But within that formal template, we were true to that template, but within that it was so much more fun, so much of in person. I would say it was much more informal and within a formal template. So that is the challenging part. Our Toastmaster of the day have very successfully managed to achieve it. So very good job on that, George. Every speaker was appreciated very well. Great job. And coming to the last part of the grammarian, Toastmaster Masroor, he identified some of the mistakes and suggestions for improvement. I would also say that, as many of you know, grammarian's purpose is not only just to point out the mistakes, but also to point out the good usages of language. Good usage, good vocabularies, good phrases being used, or the good ways of expressing something. You can also write those down and explain it later to the audience so that they can note it down and probably use it in their day-to-day conversations. And you are trying to be very creative, that is appreciated. As I said, that's the whole part of being here in Toastmasters, being comfortable in this space and trying to explore further. Otherwise, every timer would be doing the same thing, delivering the same dialogue. So that's not the whole idea. So I appreciate all the role players on that. That's it. Overall, a very well organized meeting. Congratulations. Sorry for taking a little bit more time. But though we started earlier, even when I was the TMOD, it was the same. So I cannot blame anyone. But yeah, timing is something we need to improve upon. That's it. Thank you very much.
Here's a small cup for you.
I got two.
Alright, so we're going to quickly go into voting for the best role player, and that's again www.mentimeter.com, and the ID is, it should be there in the group. We're going to wrap up in 5 minutes, guys, just in case you had anywhere to be. I sincerely apologize on behalf of DTC. Truly. But I'll make the rest 5 minutes also worth your time, trust me. Okay. Done? Alright, I hope everyone's voted. And that's really that, and we're going to wrap up the session. I'm just going to call one last person for one last never have I ever. It's never have I ever been afraid of heights. Your pink slip up if you have been afraid of heights.
Pink is yes or no?
I want somebody who haven't maybe spoken. Never have I ever been afraid of heights. You're afraid of heights? Okay, we'll have Toastmaster.
The shoot master.
The shoot master Pushkar. Toastmaster Pushkar on stage. Please.
Good evening, everyone. So it's good I'm coming at the end of the session, because when I was given the role of shoot master, I told Nisha that I was not able to shoot the first time I came here, and the first time I was given that role earlier also, and I was not able to shoot the moment I was called here for my impromptu, table topic. So then she said that okay, we'll not call you today. I was very happy, but in the end I'm here. So I'm afraid of heights. That's the only fear I have.
So that's the only fear you have.
That's the only fear I have.
Okay,
Thank you for sharing. And actually, just like before you leave, I have my very close friend over there, the divisional director, Adarsh Metal, who also the same scenario. So me and the division P director, Midhat Siddiqui, what we planned to do was we made him go ziplining because he was scared of heights. So just wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on skydiving? Alright, I think today could be the day you change it, Toastmaster Pushkar. Here's a ticket to an indoor skydiving at iFly at Burdur City Center. Hope you conquer your fear by this and never say never to anything. Cheers. Yeah.
When you are saying about the speed or diving or I'm okay with everything else, but about the heights, even if I'm standing on the 40th floor of and seeing down, I'm afraid of it.
Yeah, but
so I have that phobia.
Yeah, but this is your chance.
Okay.
This is your chance. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pushkar. And that about wraps it up. So just to end it, I had a quite long toast planned, but a very, very short one. I can see all of you have cups, right? So can we all raise our cups? Can we all raise our cups? And even though I don't have a long toast, I hope by this short meeting of ours, all of us are much closer and much nearer and dearer to each other. Can we have a cheers or never have ever? 3, 2, 1. Cheers! Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. Over to you.
Thank you so much, TMOD George. Let's give him a round of huge round of applause. Never have I witnessed such a fun, engaging meeting today. And in the interest of time, let's quickly move on to our awards and announcement. So the award for the best. Okay. The award for. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. The award for the best speaker goes to our thalassophile. Anybody knows what that means? Thalassophile. Thalassa, sea, file.
Lover of the sea.
To our lover of the sea, Toastmaster Yana These are important pictures that go with you. Thank you. Congratulations, Yana.
Thank you.
Our best debate topic speaker goes to. I won't say any guesses, but the one who has a silent admirer today, the one who's scared of his father-in-law, the one who's just joined DTC back, Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you.
You can now tell us who the person was.
You.
I wanted to hear that. Thank you. The best evaluator goes to somebody who rips apart all appliances and who has been ripped apart today because of the timings. He's already left. TM Ramesh. And our best role player, none other than Toastmaster Bensi. Who's Toastmaster Bensi? Of course, Toastmaster. I'm taking a picture with the actress, it better be good. I'm taking a picture with the president, it better be good. Okay, thank you so much. Congratulations. Congratulations to all the winners. And moving on to the announcements. Okay, we have completed our DCP 10. Congratulations to all the ones who completed the level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to say the names now in the interest of time. Moving on, Toastmaster of the Year. On the top 3 have Santosh Nair, followed by Amina, followed by Rashmi. These are the top 3. They have to work hard, and let's see by the end of this year who's going to get the rolling trophy of the Toastmaster of the Year. Congratulations to our first timer, Sajid Masroor, who did the grammarian route. World Master for the first time, and Toastmaster Rashmi Nair, who did the first time. Now we have, in 2 months, we have the elections coming up. And for that, we have, it's always the past president who's the nomination chair. So our nomination chair is Sagar. And in his team is Toastmaster Bosco and Toastmaster Adil. This will be your nomination committee. Elections will be held on 22nd May. So whoever wants to nominate themselves, please do so. You can send a mail to them. Then we have, as we declared in the earlier meeting, we have the audit going to happen, and the audit is, the committee is chaired by distinguished Toastmaster Ramesh Anantaraman. And the next meeting would be on 8th of May, 7:15. Cruise on Cuisine Tannic by our young and charming Toastmaster Amina Salma. Venue, question mark. Now, as you all know, we are having a tough time looking for a good venue. Every meeting is a different venue. So if you all have any good venues within reasonable budget, please do let the ExCom and me know so that we can let you know. Till about 1 week before the meeting, it's a suspense to everybody. So I will see you all on the 8th of May. With the power vested in me, I now declare this meeting closed. Thank you. Good night.